I never seen nothing like it. If you guys are wondering where all this brush came from, I cut down 2 Bradford pear trees that were in my front yard. They just kept on splitting. Every time it rained, we would lose limbs every time, so we went ahead and cut them down the other day. Every time I come up to the burn pile, I try to grab a few logs from the old log yard to take to the new one. This whole stack right here is mostly pine and a little bit of hemlock in here. More pine than hemlock, unfortunately. I wish I had more hemlock. They're hard to find around here. And I know what you guys are thinking. Why not take more than one at a time? Well, usually I do, but I got 2 cameras going and I'm trying to make sure I get this shot for you guys. So when I do stuff like that, 1 log is about all I got time for. I'll tell you what, friends, I have never seen it this warm in November. I never seen nothing like it. It's supposed to be 80 degrees today. I'm not complaining because the humidity's gone, because summertime's moved on. Perfect weather to be working outside, especially sawmilling. And that's the main thing we'll be doing today, sawing up some more yellow poplar for shiplap. A lot of poplar, guys. I've got to saw a lot of poplar. All right, friends, I finished up this poplar. We got a decent amount of 1x9s out of those two cants. I'll be making this into shiplap on a future video, which will go on the walls on the new shop up there near the house. And if you're wondering why the miter saw's out here, it's because I need to build some pallets. I need some pallets to put this lumber on. Let's go ahead and build one real fast, and then I'll explain to you guys why these open face pallets work so well. You guys hang in there. Guys, real fast, I did not come up with this. Robert Milton and his wife Martha down at Hobby Hardwoods, Alabama, they came up with this several years ago. And in my opinion, it's the best way to stack lumber. This is called an open face pallet. And some of you guys may have seen me build these on the channel in the past. I like to use 2x4s, but you can use anything. 2x4s are pretty cheap and they're already dimensional and they're kiln dried most of the time. So it's really a fast way of doing it. And it's a little bit of an investment because you have to buy the 2x4s, but when you're dealing with wood at your sawmill, it's just the cost of doing business. And this is a tax write-off when you buy something like this. So there's goods and bads here as far as using 2x4s. You can saw up your own stuff if you want to, but I recommend using something that's kiln dried and has been run through a planer on all four sides. So you got nice straight dimensional lumber for your skid or your open face pallet rather, because this is real important. If it's not flat and straight, your lumber's not going to be flat and straight as it dries. Now this is called an open face pallet like I was saying, and the reason it's called that is because the bottom of it is open. A traditional pallet will have lumber on both sides, the top and the bottom as far as the runners go, but this one right here where it's open on the bottom is why it's called an open face pallet. I like to separate my 2x4s on 16-inch centers, which is also the same way I put my stickers in my lumber. I always go 16 inches, guys. Don't go any further than that. Stay about 16 inches and you'll be glad you did once you dry your lumber. Turns out a lot better. Don't space them out 2 or 3 foot. I always do 16 inches. And I usually stack my lumber about 7 boards high, or 7 rows rather, whatever you want to call it. Then I put another pallet on top of that. You can go taller if you want to. That's just the system that I have. right, guys, we got a good start on this shiplap. I need to saw up about 4 or 5 more pallets before I got a decent sized load to go in the kiln. But until I do that, that's a good place to park that lumber. And with all these open sides around this building, that means we'll have a lot of opportunity for that moisture to leave the lumber and not cost us a dime via air drying. Now you can put this lumber in the kiln green, but I like to air dry everything here at my sawmill because it's a lot cheaper to air dry it first instead of putting it in the kiln green. So here's the reason behind that way of thinking. If I put that lumber in the kiln green, it's going to take about 4 weeks to dry it in the kiln, and that's 4 weeks of paying for power for the kiln. It's not real expensive for power, but it does add up. If I air dry it first, which doesn't cost me nothing, the moisture goes down to about 15%, then I put that in the kiln for about 7 to 8 days, and it's done. So it's a little bit cheaper to do that on the front end, and it's also a little bit safer for the lumber, I feel like. Now, what do I mean by safer? In my opinion, air-dried lumber before it goes into the kiln is better. That's my opinion. A lot of guys will argue with me, and that's fine, but I've been kiln drying for about 10 years here at my sawmill, and in my experiences, air drying first is a whole lot better on your lumber. Now, I could be wrong about that, but like I said, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. You guys may do it different at your sawmill, and if so, that's great. Do it the way you want to do it. All right, guys, we got about an hour of daylight left, so let's take advantage of it. I think we'll get in the tractor and bring over some poplar logs, so tomorrow when I start sawing, the logs will be waiting on me. It's kind of hard to see the loader on this tractor and the cab. That's one thing about this cab tractor. I love the cab, but for loader work, it's kind of hard to see out there. When stuff like that happens, you kind of lose your grip right there. You can't tell what's going on sometimes. I think I got it now though. There we go. It's a nice straight poplar. Should be a 10-footer, just what we're looking for. For you guys out there that run sawmills, you can relate with this message. It's always nice when you come to work and there's some logs waiting on you. And no lumber on the mill, even though I got a 2x6 of poplars sitting on the mill right now. I'm not sure why I left that up there. See if we can dig out this other poplar and not cause an avalanche. I think it's about a 12-footer. Oh, see what I mean? You cannot see what's going on out there on the loader sometimes. Ran into the whole pile. There we go. As usual, everything takes a lot longer than it should. I just need a 10-footer, so anything longer than that is going to be firewood. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go ahead and cut that off. All right, guys, I guess I'm done for the day. I started cutting some firewood over there, and we'll probably get the log splitter out on the next video and start filling up these IBC totes. I got 10 of them to fill up. And for you guys that use IBC totes for your firewood, I'll put a picture up here in case you guys are not sure what I'm talking about. How much or how many of those does it take to equal a cord of wood? I'm thinking maybe 3 or 4, or maybe just 2, I don't know. I'm betting either 3 or 4. Let me know down in the comments, you firewood guys that do firewood more than me, which is probably most of you, and everybody will learn something. But hopefully tomorrow we can start on some firewood. I need to get going on firewood. I got enough for this winter, but I need to start planning for next winter. And since I have all these IBC totes now, I may start selling some of it. I don't know, to see what happens. I got a lot of firewood logs over here. The tree service guy that I deal with, one of the many tree services that I deal with, I shouldn't just say one of them. There's about 4 guys I deal with that are arborists. A lot of times they'll bring me some logs that are nice for the sawmill, but sometimes half of them are not very good logs. But you can't say nothing about it, and I'm glad to get them because I can turn them into firewood. And I'm not paying for them, so just the way it goes. When you deal with the tree service and you're a sawmill, sometimes you get some really good stuff, and sometimes it's about half and half. With my guy that I deal with more than anybody else, out of the 4 guys I deal with, or maybe 5 guys. I can't remember how many people I deal with, to be honest with you. I shouldn't even put a number out there. But the guy that I deal with the most of the time, 90% of the stuff that he brings me is good for the sawmill. But there's a few guys that I deal with, and it's usually half and half. But I'm not complaining. So if you guys are watching, I'm glad to get your logs. And this is not a session where I'm doing a rant about your logs that you bring me. Trust me, I'm really happy to get them, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So there's plenty of firewood over here. So in closing, friends here, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. There's links down below to the merchandise. Go grab yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie, because sooner or later it's going to be kind of cold this fall and you're going to need a hoodie, just not yet. I mean, it's November the 9th and it's not cold yet, but it will be here soon probably. But there's links down below for all that. All the proceeds from that go back here to the sawmill. And to be honest with you, most of the money that I make off merchandise, I buy diesel with. I got so many diesel engines here. I go through a lot of diesel, and that's where most of that money goes, is to replenish the diesel. I got 200-gallon tanks, and they go empty before you know it. It never fails. And also, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about these new cameras. I've been running them now here for about 3 weeks. And when I do the editing, it seems like the footage looks better. Like right now, it's, like I said, it's after 5, it's getting dark. And this camera I'm using right now has a low light setting. And any other time, I couldn't be filming underneath this building right now. I'd have to walk out here and get some light behind me, but it looks pretty good on the monitor. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about these new cameras and also about the audio. I'm trying to make the audio better. It's hard to do with these tractors and stuff, trying to get the right amount of audio with your voice and the machine. It's a constant struggle. So anyways, I'll shut up. Thanks for watching here, friends. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys back here soon. Big things coming here this winter on the channel. Let me plug this real fast, then I will really finish this video off. We got a really big project coming up over in Southwest Virginia, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. It's going to be a lot of work for me, but for you guys, I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch what we're going to be doing over there. It's coming very soon. In the month of November, we're going to start that project, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. So